You know that whole expansion idea? It worked so good, I think we might do it again.
No, I was just going to say.
Can we guess?
Yeah, you can guess. Nowhere in Saskatchewan.
Oh.
It'll be out of province.
Would it be?
The Alberta side.
Would it be going to Alberta or going to Manitoba?
Well, I think we'll have to wait and see.
All right.
It's another story. But I grew up in the Like Mike era. I was just showing that to my 6-year-old son. What a great movie and what a great era. You had a movie where you had all the superstars. You had Vince Carter and Allen Iverson, all these superstars. And guess what? I watched this movie and I'm like, this movie would never be made today. Because all these entitled rich superstars would say, I'm not doing that movie, I'm not doing that movie. Back in the day, it was all about the league and everything. And so
showcasing themselves and the sport.
So cut the guaranteed contracts out, quit being entitled, and players, if you want your money, then you have to go take a lesson in servant leadership and show some humility. Otherwise, you're gonna lose your league and it's gonna go down and down. Offer an incredible product to the kids. You can't lose focus on the kids. It's all about the kids and making sure that they love Hooplife and they get value from it. And we're trying to build what we wish we would have had when we were kids. And so as long as that's the focus and the kids are the focus and you're obsessed with that, we can go crazy from there.
Everybody, Happy New Year and welcome to the first episode of Locker Talk here on Access Now for 2025. Some things are changing, some things are staying the same. I'm Pete Pasco, he is Mitchell Blair.
I'm staying the same?
Yeah,
Okay.
I hope.
All right. What about this guy? He never goes away.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, yeah.
He's our only in-studio
That's
guest this
true.
week. We got to be
That's
nice
true.
to him. Absolutely. We're going to kick things off with a look at what's happening in terms of basketball in our fair city and all over the place. Andrew Gottslig is the CEO of Hooplife Basketball Training, and he joins us as he does every month. Welcome, sir.
It's good to be here. Happy
What's going
New
on?
Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Basically, Mitch just asked it. What is going on for Hooplife? You've got a lot coming up, including the camps in February, I guess?
Yeah, between Regina and Saskatoon, we're February break camps, Easter camp, we got Spring League, that's rolling out in 3 days. And so, yeah, kind of status quo for this time of year. Got some cool stuff coming later in the year. I think, you know that whole expansion idea? It worked so good, I think we might do it again.
No.
Well, I was just going to say.
Can we guess?
Yeah, you can guess.
Moose Jaw.
No, definitely not Moose Jaw. It's actually nowhere in Saskatchewan.
Oh.
It'll be out of province.
Would it be?
The Alberta side.
Would it be going to Alberta or going to Manitoba?
Well, I think we'll have to wait and see.
All right.
All right.
Nice scoop for
You
next
guys will be
time.
the first to know. You'll be the first to know.
That's what you said last time, too. Never mind, I'm bugging you. Talk about the expansion to Saskatoon. You did make that announcement a couple of months ago, late in 24, and it has been something that really, I think, has even exceeded your expectations for the first 6 months.
Yeah, we spent a long time building Hooplife, and I mean, not just what you see on the outside, but what you see on the inside, and everything from developing coaches to developing the systems behind the scenes and building a real, you know, something that you can turnkey really anywhere. And so that's going to be the plan now, is offer an incredible product to the kids. You can't lose focus on the kids. It's all about the kids and making sure that they love Hooplife and they get value from it. And we're trying to build what we wish we would have had when we were kids. And so as long as that's the focus and the kids are the focus and you're obsessed with that, we can go crazy from there.
You talk about expanding out of province, which is great for you.
Definitely.
You're in Saskatoon right now, which has been great, but the one thing you don't have in Saskatoon, what you have here, is your own Hooplife facility. I know you're working hard to get that in Saskatoon. Where are you at? Do you think you can get one that's existing, or are you going to have to build from scratch like you did here?
We'll see. Basically, how a Hooplife works is, and this is going to be in the expansion plan, because 8 years ago when we sat down, I said our goal is to create a program and then plant it in 200 cities.
Yep.
And it takes a long time. Any young person listening, don't give up at the first sight of resistance. It takes a long time to build something. And so now we're on year 8. And yeah, it took a long time. But part of how Hooplife will work is the expansion goes out and we'll set up a Hooplife center. And then from there, it won't be in a physical building yet. You got to get started. And so once we start, like in Saskatoon, we're 4 months in. Yeah, 4 months in now. And so from here, the next step is to essentially go from year 1 to year 2. And at the end of year 2, your goal is to have a building. So you got to get started, get the kids, get the community involved.
Step by step.
Yeah, but we want to do it in under 2 years. That's the goal.
Nice. Let's get some expert analysis happening. The NBA, lots going on, actually. I'll start with the Miami Heat, which a team I could really not give a damn about to begin with. But Jimmy Butler is apparently done in Miami. Any thoughts on where he might end up, or is he kind of poisoned the water a little bit with his thoughts and words?
Jimmy Butler is everything wrong with the NBA.
Thank you.
Jimmy Butler, I think this is the third show in a row, and again, we're not trying to be negative when we're sitting here bashing the NBA.
No,
maybe
but,
you are.
But you are right, and you know what? Other people are noticing it too because of the TV ratings.
No, the TV ratings are down 48%, and then you get guys like JJ Redick came and blamed it on the media and said, well, the media is talking about it. It's like, bro, like there's 100 threes a game. Refs don't let anyone play. I'll break it down into a few issues, and we'll come back to Jimmy Butler, because he's the symptom. He's not he's not the principal issue of what's wrong. He's a symptom of this. You look at the NBA, refs have a godlike complex where they have got the game really soft. Everyone watches it and they're like, a technical for that? Like, create some drama. Dana White always says, the UFC, he always says, be the guy everyone boos, be the guy everyone cheers, but don't be the guy that just comes in and no one cares. Pick a side. So the NBA, like, we're going to watch if there's drama. They're sitting here teeing up guys for just like looking at the ref wrong. That's a problem. There's over 100 threes most games. It's a shootout. It's boring. No one cares about it anymore. It's just a boring, and you have guys shooting threes that don't care.
I don't dispute what you just said about threes, okay? I think that changed the game the way Steph Curry, the way he plays the game. But yes, it's gone maybe a little bit too far. So how do you regulate that? Because you can't say you weren't allowed to take more than X threes a game. You just can't do that.
Move the line back.
Move the line out?
Move the line back.
Okay.
There's a bunch of suggestions that sports commentators have mentioned, but the one that makes the most sense is move the line
from the logo.
That's a good point, but I think that if they move it back, you won't have as many. Like, you have Victor Wembanyama step back three.
That's fair.
That doesn't make any sense. So there's too much threes. There's a massive entitlement issue, which stems from the guaranteed contracts, which makes no sense. You shouldn't get a guarantee. Like, what's happened in the NBA is the prisoners are running the asylum. There's way too much. You don't want to have too much power on the owners. We don't want that. As people watching the game, we love the athletes. You don't want the owners having all the power, but you definitely don't want the players, because look what's happening right now in the NBA. And so when you look at Jimmy Butler, let's get back to that. He's making $50 million this year. And then he gets on the interview and he says, I've lost my joy of playing basketball. Stop.
50 mil buys a lot of joy.
The NBA is so tone deaf.
Especially if you subscribe to T-Move.
The NBA is so tone deaf to the rest of the world. The players are entitled. They've completely gone, they speak one language to one group of people, and everyone has said, we're out. We're not in. Politically, they're only one way. They're entitled. You have to get back to, like, as players, and it's tough because Jimmy Butler wanted to get extended and the Heat said no. But here's the deal. He's playing for $50 million. If Heat is going to have these shenanigans, the Heat should be able to say, no, get out of here. Like, we're not going to fulfill that. Because if someone's paying you $50 million, you should give your heart and your soul to that group
Well, now
paying
they've
you that money.
suspended him, so they're paying him to stay home. Sweet deal if you can get it.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It really is.
The Raptors. On, I think it was New Year's Eve, when there was all this college football on, I was just going through the dial, and they were playing the Boston Celtics, and there was just a couple minutes left, and I was like, what the heck is this? They got beat by like 50-some points. Now, I know the Raptors are bad. Like, they are horrific bad. They're probably going to be the worst team in the NBA. If they win the lottery, can they turn things around with Cooper Flagg, who's the hotshot #1 prospect out of Duke, or is this going to be a long, long battle back to respectability?
Do you want me to lie?
Never.
Never. Well, unless you're talking about the Lakers, because we know you will.
Yeah, that's,
I'm tapped out on LeBron. I think I'm.
yeah.
There you go, folks. I've joined all of the rest of you at home. That's another story. But optimistically, we hope that a first round, like if you could win the lottery, then obviously I think Cooper Flagg's I think he's the real deal, and I think he would really help. But man, like we didn't realize how good we had it with Laurie and DeRozan.
True.
Maybe we lost to LeBron every year, but I mean, those guys, we had a great
They
team
never
for a
should have
long.
gotten rid of DeRozan.
No,
That's my point. I don't think they ever should have
No,
gotten rid of DeRozan.
because you won one year, but now we're about to lose 10, 15 years in a row because of the one. So I mean, I guess we'll take it because we got the one, but I don't know, man. I guess that's the only hope we have is that we get the number one pick, or we somehow convince someone to come to Canada, which has never happened. I don't, except for
Why?
through a trade though, not through
Oh, yeah,
not
okay.
through the free
Right.
not through the free agency. So Messiah Jury though, you got to trust him to a degree. He's done some great stuff, and so I think there's a process that this has to go into, and so. It's a tough game. I mean, it's not so easy. Look at Phoenix even. They get a new owner. They're ambitious. They get Durant, and now they're...
Come on, you talk about players coming to Toronto. Toronto will be the 51st state. Never mind.
No. So are the Raptors actively tanking, or are they just really bad?
I'd probably both. I mean, I think you have to, at this point, like, we should, let's do it.
Why not?
Tank. Like,
What do you got to lose?
Rip it off like a Band-Aid. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to get back to the ratings for a second. The NFL took over Christmas Day from the NBA a couple of years ago. This year, it wasn't just games on ESPN or ABC, it was Netflix. So the entire world could watch the NFL instead of I think it was 5 NBA games? LeBron came out and said, leave Christmas Day to us.
Well, the data doesn't agree with you, King.
Well, exactly. The numbers show...
No, stop. And this is a guy...
And this is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Is this comments like this
No, it's
also hurting the NBA product? Because he
it's-
came off to me looking real bad.
It's
with that.
entitled. You're not entitled to views. And this is a guy, my whole living is in basketball. A sport that we grew up loving. And I mean, I grew up in the Like Mike era. I was just showing that to my 6-year-old son. Like, what a great movie and what a great era. You had a movie where you had all the superstars. You had Vince Carter and Allen Iverson, all these superstars. And guess what? I watched this movie and I'm like, this movie would never be made today. Because all these entitled rich superstars would say, I'm not doing that movie, I'm not doing that movie. Back in the day, it was all about the league and everything. And so
showcasing themselves and the sport.
So cut the guaranteed contracts out, quit being entitled, and players, if you want your money, then you have to go take a lesson in servant leadership and show some humility. Otherwise, you're going to lose your league and it's going to go down and down.
I know we got to wrap up. For those that want to know about what's going on at Hooplife Regina, what do they do?
Hooplifebasketball.com gives you all the info.
Sounds good.
Beautiful.